JD Vance sends message to inspiring Sophie Cunningham after WNBA star sparked war over transgender athletes. JD Vance has leaped to the defense of Sophie Cunningham and told the WNBA star to keep speaking her mind, as the fallout from her comments on transgender athletes rages on. Cunningham has been at the center of a bitter culture war in recent weeks after she told ESPN that young girls shouldn't have to go against biological men when playing sports. The Indiana Fever star has faced a fierce backlash from some fans and figures within sports, including Minnesota Lynx head coach Cheryl Reeve, who wore a shirt that read, "Trans kids belong," during a game against the Fever. The debate has now reached the very top of government, with Vice President Vance urging Cunningham to keep going in spite of the mob. "Sometimes when you're courageous in this country, some of the worst people in the world try to attack you," Vance told Fox News.
So why is everyone suddenly talking about GLP-1?
It's the hormone that helps control cravings, blood sugar, and appetite. Basically, it tells your brain you're full.
Most GLP-1 supplements out there are actually cinnamon or turmeric in a capsule,
Which don't actually support GLP-1.
Edavita GLP-1 is different. It's the first capsule with Akkermansia, a gut bacteria linked to GLP-1 release.
Plus berberine, green tea, grapeseed, hibiscus, and prebiotics to feed the good bacteria.
Scan the QR code now or visit grabdeal.us/7 to explore the details.
What I would tell Sophie and anybody else is, keep speaking your mind. You're actually inspiring a dozen people for every person that criticizes you. New at VP JD Vance applauds WNBA star Sophie Cunningham for speaking out against trans athletes in women's sports. Keep speaking your mind. The thing about courage is it's contagious. We cannot save the United States of America unless you have people of courage who are pick. Twitter.com/LPVIBRCWA. JD Vance has leaped to the defense of Sophie Cunningham amid the backlash over her comments on transgender athletes. The WNBA star said girls shouldn't have to go against biological men when playing sports. Minnesota Lynx head coach Cheryl Reeve wore a "Trans Kids Belong" t-shirt on the sidelines of her team's clash against Cunningham and the Indiana Fever. And we cannot take our country back. We cannot save the United States of America unless you have people of courage who are speaking their mind. The thing about courage is it's contagious. When you see one person, even if they have the mob come after them, speak their mind in a courageous and honest way, it inspires a lot of people to do the same. So I would tell Sophie to keep going. Since Cunningham's comments went viral, Indiana Fever games have seen both pro- and anti-trans protests. In Minnesota, protesters on each side of the debate clashed outside Target Center, while Lynx coach Reeve was seen in an animated discussion with Cunningham at the side of the court while she wore her "Trans Kids Belong" shirt. "I think it's great," Reeve said of the talk in her post-game media session. "I think both of us understand that we have platforms, and we both talked about wanting to, more than anything, educate. There are some things that we have in common, and maybe some things you differ on, just like any issues. It was nice to be in person, for sure." Reeve, who also serves as the Team USA coach, added, "I come from a space of inclusion. The narrative that I think is problematic is to suggest that transgender athletes are the biggest problem in women's sports." Cunningham and Reeve had an animated pre-game discussion before the game. Since Cunningham's comments, Fever games have seen both pro- and anti-trans protests. There is a faction of people in our country that are making this a massive issue. When Caitlin Clark was asked about her teammates' comments, she said, "I think, for us, it's not really a discussion we really have in our locker room. I think it's for leagues and the governing bodies to work with their athletes to find solutions, but our focus is on basketball. That's what we talk about and how we can get wins, and obviously we didn't do that tonight." A second reporter then followed up with a question on the same subject, to which he was met by Clark saying, "I just answered for you."